This trash container, there's something in there. Not necessarily connected to just a trash container. Your fingers start to itch just looking at that padlock. The lieutenant leans in to inspect your fingers start to...
Trash? Food waste from the cafeteria? They lock these containers to keep the derelicts from flocking in. Could be evidence too. What do you mean, feel? I agree. We should get someone from the remote viewers division here. All the detectives from all the precincts who experience extrasensory perception go to the remote viewers division. Their work is invaluable to the force. No, because they don't exist. There isn't, but we should still access this container.
Just a trash container. Your fingers start to...
Trash? Food waste from the cafeteria? Mm-hmm.
Just a trash... Your fingers start to itch.
Trash? Food waste... What do you mean, feel? Mm-hmm. We could try using a pry bar. There's one in my motor carriage, or... We might want to ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags. He probably has one. And he also has information.
Just a Your fingers start...
Trash? Food... What do you mean, feel? I agree. We should... Oh. It might also be evidence. The mob could have disposed of something in there. We should get it open.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheat. A metallic drawer slides out from under the seat.
Take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long case. I'm not protective of my tools, like some men are.
He's clearly a little... The pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand. Heavy, cold and heavy. Like useful for opening all sorts of doors, and the pull-out toolbox.
Can I help you? Mine? No, it belongs to the Whirling in Rags.
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked?
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors too. They put their trash there and they don't pay for the garbage company.
I thought as much. And are you the only party with access to the trash container?
Well, yes. Us and the garbage disposal company.
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you. Prod at him and find out.
Yes. Sir, I'm sorry the RCM is having financial trouble, but it's not this establishment's problem. Yes. I'm not a fishing teacher. That is not why we keep our trash locked. Any place with a kitchen does it. It's not political, I assure you. Callous? What are you, Kras Mazov? Almost all establishments in Revachol keep their trash locked. The Whirling in Rags is not special in that regard. What do you need them for?
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid. This trash container is locked. This trash container is locked. No matter how strong you think you are, this is really not something you should be attempting to do with your bare hands. This trash container is locked. The sliding lid. Force time isn't happening. You've jammed the pry bar under the lid, but it just isn't bending. What is this? Your triceps ache for the metal to bend, but it resists. This calls for a potent curse to help break its resistance. Utter.
The quality of metal is not the problem. From what I see, it's sturdy enough.
Unsatisfying, hurtful. You hear a ringing sound, but not quite hollow. The can seems to be full. Full of itself. Content. Happy you failed. This snickering trash container is having a grand old time. There's a creaking sound as the pry bar slips under the lid. You hang from it like a moron, huffing and puffing. Clearly the technique is wrong, but nothing else comes to mind.
The strange thing is we don't have to. We have the key, remember? The manager gave you the key.
With a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't. Of course you should. This is your time to shine, Hobocop. Dive into that dumpster for extra content. There is, but you won't like it. Sweat forms on your brow. Your hand is still on the lid. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
Wow, an Armistice caliber 50 knock cannon, half wrapped in paper tissues. So shiny. It's a giant rifle, and it's very expensive. Not as expensive as that fat string of pearls snaking around the rotten banana peels, however. And is that Cordon Electric's preamp with Electra F2 tubes? It is. That catches quite a price. We're talking 12,000, easy. Unless you're into hi-fi yourself. No, you won't, because none of those things are real. They're not actually in there. All you see is food waste and crisp wrappings. All you see is a broken mug with a racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron. Only in its social sensibility.
You've acquired an interactable item.
You see milk and egg rest with. You've done this before. The movements are no, so good practice for dump. A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below, and turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however. Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers. As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay. Drop them in here, officer. Guitar-marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too, a white belt. The loops appear stretched, but the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye. A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. Just garbage.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
The fuck's he on about? Kids? You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something.
See? Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash, the lid was locked, and this establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
The lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container. It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels, mostly. Unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey, nothing. It's nothing. Nothing more to see here. What's this? A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something. Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
Officer, is that your paperwork? Yes, it is. Look. This plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form. If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash? What are you talking about? Doeth thou also thorough inventories? You should take stock of your notes. Make sure it's all there. Official notes contain informants' names. If some of it has fallen into the hands of the RCM's adversaries, bloodletting may well ensue. I see, yes. You are what we call a badass, aren't you? Tell me, seeth your badass more in there, or are we done here? Ah, yes, and it would also be appropriate to start taking notes on the case. It's what cops do.
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable.
There's nothing more of interest in this sludge of peels, and the container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. The container sounds a muffled gong. Bent metal, broken glass. Your path lies strewn with the broken forms of everyday objects. You are the destroyer, the bane of inanimate matter. Look, there's a discarded milk carton on the floor. Why don't you destroy that, too? Kudos. just a racist mug. What's the... Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage? If you want to earn some change by guilting people, go... It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner. There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you. Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart. It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want. If you want it to be kitchen tissue, it can be kitchen tissue. It's not though. It's toilet paper. Cool toilet paper. I mean kitchen tissue. It's just toilet, still wet, the toilet paper, I mean kitchen tissue, sorry, peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off your finger and voila, the ledger now looks marginally better. An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before.
What? Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property. It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
How many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do. All RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, they're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible. Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes. 2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me. I prefer a normal caseload. It's a matter of method.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense. Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, Still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name. Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case. Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. You like this grimy murdering, don't you? It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene? Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does. It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves. Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out. Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident. You mean the alphanumeric? Good. But do you also use the titular? Right, of course.
Like a fan of girls.
You mean the alphanumeric? Office. Good. But do you also use... Well, so do I. It's a holdover from the early days of...
Your secret is safe with the rotten cabbage of papers in your hand. Yes, it appears you arson, petty theft, spousal abuse, handwritten logs on dozens. There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. The tasks you've completed flow out of the kind green ape pen in a brash freehand similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager. A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
No, actually. Any ideas? Furies. Yes, well, I don't know. I have to be honest, I'm not experiencing the internal strife that it refers to. And also, could you make it less poetic somehow? Just a normal case name, you know? Think, what would that be? A good normal name. Okay, it's a good name, but it has one problem. This case has nothing to do with the setting sun. At all. It has nothing to do with that, so... Something more concrete, perhaps? Do you have something concrete? Mundane, usual?
Usual is boring. We don't do that.
Yes. I have to tell you, officer, I don't appreciate ironic titles. Other officers will have to use this as reference. If it's idiot or cockfinger, they're not going to get it. They're going to think an idiot and a cockfinger were on this case. So, do you have something less funny? Oh, well, then maybe I can suggest one. Okay then. The case doesn't need to have a name. Fine. For inter-district cooperation, let's try one more time. What do you want to name it? Oh, well, then maybe I can suggest one. The Hanged Man. Okay then. The case doesn't need to have a name. Fine. For inter-district cooperation, let's try one more time. What do you want? Oh, well, then maybe I can suggest one. The Hanged Man. Are you sure? I think it's pretty serviceable. Okay then. The case doesn't need to have a name. Fine. For inter... Oh, well... Oh, that's actually what I was thinking. The Hanged Man. I like that. A good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now. It's the ledger you found in the trap. Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse, handwritten. You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the... In the back, you see thin, translucent copy of paper. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out. 3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle, a monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines, these are quite sinister in turn. They give a date and time for the person to appear at a dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color, color of the irises, predation marks, condition of sexual organs. Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers. Interview. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork it's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters, RCM. Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it. Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center. With your hands, U4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board. The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner. The ledger you found in the trash, a cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell. The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off its slides. If you bend the plastic on your knee slowly, the slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, you know. It's the ledger you found in the trash, without resistance or sound. 2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard. The words just crossed your mind somehow. Who do you think? You. Two octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. They let you go there too. You should go and kill yourself there. Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue. It smells of chewing gum, apricot flavored. A touch of cinnamon, the end of summer. You think the label says tutti frutti. Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card, looped, round letters in a woman's hand. A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile, you think. Although that is not something you can read from someone's handwriting. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy. Throw it away, please. A merciful wind blows in from the bay of Revachol, dusting the ground at your feet and raising newspapers far away. You feel the card slipping into it.
Let go.
Frisson covers your entire body, a feeling of cold, a persistent chill. Your hands shake, holding onto it. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest, down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 42 and walk back to you. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it. Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. Small white dots appear. You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No, hold on. To what? There's nothing.
Detective, is everything all right?
There is nothing. Again. Nothing sad, brother. No treachery, just blackout. Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you, that's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering, somewhere in the basal ganglia. That's me. Blue eyes, that's me. Who was what?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness he's grasping for it. Still trying to hold on to the great sorrows slipping in the water. Slimy.
The call when you're dead, brother.
Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it the shadow. Because it's always there.
There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no lights in the windows. It's all on. Poor, bloated corpse of the past resurfacing. Don't prod at it. It will start moving again. You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules? No. Someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
Yes, they're pouring something on you. It's in you. And
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness. In the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket, the air is thick with leatherworks and heavy fuel oil. Cold water runs down your chin.
Drink. Water. There is no use arguing with me. You will die if you don't. Drink.
There really is no use arguing with him. This is him exerting the reserves of authority he usually withholds. You can't even try to resist. All you can do. The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself as it pours down your parched throat. The pounding in your head recedes. The darkness parts.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone? You need a secondary form of hydration.
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it.
What happened? You were reading your paperwork. Then you passed out. I carried you to my kinema to take you to a hospital. Then you came to. 10 minutes, maybe. That does sometimes happen. You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed? Good.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped in your held slot for skill.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal. A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutics.
Just ask me if you need anything from Saint Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma. Yeah, there's like an ampule somewhere. Okay, don't, like, overdo it or something. I don't know. Let's see. Nosafed is a nasal spray. Duramine is a really good painkiller. Magnesium is a dietary supplement. Hypnogamma is... I don't really know what Hypnogamma is. I guess it makes you feel less shit. It's recommended to use after lots of partying, studying, or exercising. No, sorry. I'm not like a doctor or anything.
Nosafed heals +1 health. Duramine heals +3 health. Magnesium heals +1 morale. Hypnogamma heals +3 morale.
Saint Baptiste, you know, the pharmaceuticals company. Saint Baptiste Pharmaceuticals, the one that sells meds out of Saint Baptiste. That one. There.
A colourful display of there, in that dark green glass, all in vain. The great flowing river of warmth, wine, alcohol, beer, alcohol, love, alcohol.
Sure. If you want something, I can get it for you. Just let me know and pay and stuff. But I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. But I guess you already know that.
Know this, you will never finish your alcohol quest if you don't buy beautiful alcohol.
No, Frit only sells legal drugs, like the law says. Here you go, mister.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf. The packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easier to take unnoticed. No need to worry about knocking.
What is what? If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real.
Her attention is drawn to the raincoats. Stealing one undetected will now be more difficult.
Kuno doesn't... Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno doesn't...
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below. This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible. The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
Probably some kids.
A simple but clever solution to ruin in a coin-operated viewer. It took ingenuity. A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onug written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower. The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no lights in the windows. Around the large wooden building, you see chunks of sea ice gathered on the beach, and a small... This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle. Your money disappears into the coin slot. A clunk. The ring, the curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the view. It's blurry. The lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing, its leaves ripped from it by the winter wind. The little brave birch tree seems to wave back in the wind.
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
worn and beaten wooden planks of the...
We can sit on benches.
You can revisit the bench.
The tear machine stands. Your bottles clunk into the machine. Do you know what you should do with that money, kiddo? You should buy more alcohol. You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent. You see several packaged raincoats fill. The girl delves into the magazine. Oh no.
I didn't just see a middle-aged man try to steal a 4 real raincoat, did I?
Really?
The clerk stares at you, but she's like 14. You're humiliated in front of a...
I mean, it doesn't even cost that. Fucking with Frit is dangerous, you know. Just leave it there. I'll put it away later.
You see several packaged raincoats fit. The girl delves into the magazine, hair covering her face, vision obscured. Oh no. I said don't let it... You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf. The girl delves in. You see several packaged raincoats. The girl delves into the magazine, hair covering her face, vision obscured. She cannot see your hand move. Down onto one knee, pretending to do up a shoelace. Take a loose package from the bottom, slip it in the old sleeve. The girl doesn't notice a thing.
What is what? If you want to buy one, then it's only 4.
The sloppy stacking makes it more difficult to discern the missing one. You will be safe. You see several packaged...
Here you go.
Welcome to Revachol.
Don't you welcome to Revachol. Every school of thought and government has failed. It's men like you who keep Revachol divided.
Oh, commandement.
I know exactly what you mean. But you see...
Silence. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
I haven't learned anything I didn't know before.
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular...
Whatever you say, officers. Oh man, oh god damn.
Thanks for that, but no. It's about biological not the most popular topic nowadays with a coalition.
Change the topic. The way he says it makes it almost sound like a threat.
People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obvious. So, lately we Occidentals have experienced an unfortunate downturn when members of the superior race cease to believe in them. This concerns you, policeman, so you better be vigilant. The damn kips are showing up good lately. Same with the mosquitoes. And the other intruder species too. They're on. It's what the kips of Boogie Street are going for, right under our noses. And the others too, on the radio. Heard any chansons? It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace? You might end up with a new good. If we, the evening people, pull together, we...
Lieutenant Kitsuragi's stern expression remained. Oh no, not too happy.
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some... The strike? I'd have been at it... Apples. Yeah, apple.
He's given you the runaround. Let's be honest, you were bested.
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up... The strike? Apples. Fine.
He's given you the runaround. Let's be honest.
I salute you, compatriot. Defenders of the evening lands have to stick together.
Whoa, jackpot. Racist jackpot.
Cigarettes are a tool. Equip them in your health slot in your inventory.
When you said before that you were down with racism, was it meant in earnest, or were you just trying to win his confidence? I suppose that's a relief. Just be careful how often you avail yourself of this technique. And one more thing. As you've seen, these sorts of attitudes are quite common in Martinez, so I expect this to happen again and again. I've had this conversation enough times in my life. From now on, I'm going to stay out of it. How you choose to respond is your business, but be careful. Now... When you said before that you were down with racism, was it meant in earnest, or were you just trying to win his confidence? So you don't find his views, say, unbefitting of a police officer?
Okay. Feels like this is going to be a discussion now.
Our position in Ravachol is already precarious. Many people think we are vigilantes as it is. I can't have them thinking we are racist vigilantes to boot. That's good to hear. I don't want there to be any unnecessary friction in our relationship during this important case. Let me say just one more thing. As you've seen, these sorts of attitudes are quite common in Martinez, so I expect this to happen again and again. I've had this conversation enough times in my life. From now on, I'm going to stay out of it. How you choose to respond is your business. Now, let's get back to the task at hand. When you said before that you were down with racism, was it meant in earnest, or were you just trying to win his confidence? So you don't find his views, say, unbefitting of a police officer?
Okay. Feels like this is going to be a discussion now.
There are tens of thousands of people who grew up in Martinez and somehow managed to avoid becoming racists, who yell, "Come here, sir from Picker," at passers-by. Our position in Ravachol is already precarious. Many people think we are vigilantes as it is. I can't have them thinking we are racist vigilantes to boot. Stop right there. I know what you're going to say. Don't. Also, these attitudes are quite common in Martinez, so I expect this to happen again and again. I've had this conversation enough times in my life. From now on, I'm going to stay out of it. How you choose to respond is your business. Now, let's get back to the task at hand. When you said before that you were down with racism, so you don't
Okay. Feels like this is going...
And what point would that be? Stop right there. I've had this... When you said before that you were... I suppose your reasons are your own. Let me say just one more thing. As you've seen, I've had this conversation enough times in my life. From now... When you said before that you were... I suppose that's a relief. And one more thing. I've had this conversation...
Lorry stuck in the traffic jam. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see the back end of the cabin as a...
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy.
The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. The back end of the cabin...
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
He was acting tough before. This probably scared him a bit. Who knows when it will come in handy? A slightly scared...
Scab?
What did he just call you? Oh no, not this again. You just got away from that fucking kid.
No, I said Scab. A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Beats me. Somewhere in the ground, I think. Gotta be bloody stupid or freaking evil to Scab. Or I guess, scared maybe. But scared of what? Of who? Personally, I'd rather beg than Scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. These scabs ain't begging. They ain't holding on to their integrity. A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do, gotta be bloody stupid or freaking evil to scab. Or I guess, scared maybe. But scared of what? Of who? Personally, I'd rather beg than scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something. We've explained the matters, but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time. Good one, officer. Don't worry. We here have solidarity with the RCM. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money. Speaking of, what brings the RCM here, to the wild north? Come to see the strife? Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out.
The coin lands into your hand as if it has always belonged there. The swallow returns.
Always glad to help out the RCM. Shame I can't do more. Things are meager at the moment due to... You know, the winter's fat is slowly running out and all. Still better than scabbing though. Nothing to worry about, really. The jam's a bit of a mess, cargo can't get in or out. I'm always glad to help out when possible. Not like these slithering scabs.
The man looks at the colorful...
But that's not you, officer. Good thing, too. I've known Johannes for a few years now. How did you get his shift card, anyway? Yes, the city has a way of pairing souls. John's been out drinking himself blind. He should be more careful, that Johannes.
No, it will prove useful still. Believe your thieving fingers.
Oh, okay. Good luck with that. So, what do you need? Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder. I don't believe you. Post L'Aventurier said the same thing. They tried to get me to be their postman. So fun, so easy, they said. It's just walking. It wasn't. I'm doing much better here at the harbor. Being an honest union man...
He doesn't have the stamina to deliver mail on these tough streets. But you do. Maybe if this cop thing doesn't work out.
Murder, huh? That's probably not. I wouldn't even know where to start with that. Much better here at the harbor. For an honest murder, huh? That's okay. I have no idea what I'm doing either. I don't even know what day it is. Don't tell me. It's a better day that way. Murder, huh? Of course, Policia. It wasn't me. You can rule me out. Easier.
He didn't do it. It's the truth.
My friend, I respect the right to roam. The open range of... I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage I walk right past Measurehead and go in. Yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Semini supremacist there. Walk right past him, then press the button to unlock the door, then go past him again, and you enter the harbor through the office. Está. Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. For example, you could best Measurehead in a physical confrontation. Or you could convert to a Semini supremacist worldview. Or, maybe it actually is completely impossible. Not yet, no. He's incredibly strong.
Nothing a couple of solid hooks from Dexter and Sinister won't fix.
Jean-Luc himself would say the philosophy has proven overly heroic for the scabs to convert to. Not enough intuition. Sure. You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the union boss and...
Nobody betrayed.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
You have succumbed. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al Ghul emerges from... Yes, Al Ghul is an ancient, correct, by small.
It's not good.
It's like a rat crawled into your stomach, got drunk and drowned.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving jerking motions, signs of a late-stage neurodegenerative disorder. How far, the Occidental? You gave the world eugenics, electricité, and powerful weapons. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Quakers. You will be superseded.
It is, baby, yeah.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the...
It is my task to keep the degenerate rungs from in... That is right. You should leave the state. Bring your troops to the seminary. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul. Your beloved, Beverly.
This is your chance. He's talking. No, don't rip into anyone. You're sensitive. Remember? Communicate. Go ahead. Don't be shy. Just ask for race secrets.
Do not be naive. I know the answer to the great race enigma. Why would I share it with a deformed infant? You do not have the devotion for servitude. Racists are generally not. I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw.
True. That is a noble cranium, but you got a hard noggin yourself.
You exhibit forward projection of the jaw, indicative of schizophrenia and sexual inaccountability. From a it is impossible to see any more of your bone structure. It is... This leads me to conclude you are not a police officer. You are a common criminal. Your racial heritage is uninteresting. It is the same as all Rivasholians. Your parents...
He's right there. It's almost impossible to get it on unless you're both drunk. It's too scary when people are sober. Just like that, instinct took over. A solid strike straight into his throat, into the cartilage. You could swear you felt the soft palate break. The man is reeling, gasping for air. Time stands still around you. In the distance, the sounds of the harbor are falling silent. All you hear is a small gurgling sound as a trickle of blood appears on the man's lip. He's open. Rip into him. Right hook. Escalated. Get intimate with him. Bring the hurt closer. Don't wait. You've only got a millisecond. He's coming too. Time is breaking loose from the stupor. His left hand curls up, that fighting pose. Watch out. He's expecting the hook. Oh God, wrong move. Your head is in his hands, like a pair of forceps crushing you, and you can feel every jewel.
Say it. I am a degenerate drunk.
Take the pain, goddammit. At least take that. Even under the increased force on your skull, there is no pain. Just the sound of your own blood gushing in.
You are a poor player of physical chess.
How did this happen? Your little fist is in his...
You must be out of your mind, degenerate drunk. Good. Now leave before you humiliate your homoerotic organization any further.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't force us into situations where I may have to shoot random civilians, because I'm not even sure the one bullet my chamber holds would even prick that Hulk. We are not here on some political quest. We are here to solve a crime. Don't make the situation any more volatile than it already is. And you're just going to let him manipulate you like that? We are not here on some political quest. We are here to solve a crime. Don't make
The lieutenant groans. It's clear you like the hard stuff, Brota. Evening falls. The vows are blurred. Lower intestine. The term fascism, Brota. Many things, but it's mostly about trusting your gut. Who does your gut tell you is the source of Revachol's problems? Yes, them. But Wurmen. Wurmen. Men of Wur. You don't like them. They're insane. Their idiocy needs to be scrubbed off. That's what fascism boils down to. The rest is also important. Stomach truth. You're having a stomach because you've said the hard things that others won't say. The good things. You've said them. Okay. Yes. You're going to keep your views, right? Keep for the nation. Smart. Best not to mention the women too often. That's why you're the head, and I... Of course you are, Bruta. Of course. Well, hello? Someone's... What a solid can of mass-produced piss water. Well over 10% alcohol. Wow. The gods of mass production have made this alcohol container laughably easy to open. A child could have done it. There's a satisfying pop as the cap comes off, and the hair on your back rises like an army at attention. You've been here before. Welcome back, detective. You're home now. Nothing. Some mental stuff. Nothing to be worried about. Physically, you'll be strong as an ox. golden sun melts down your throat. Its rays filling your nostrils with sunshine. Your stomach melts from it into a happy, gooey mess. So does your mind. All the bad things are melting. You're you again. A real cop. A real detective. Incredibly well done.
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's an alcohol button. Alcohol gives +1 to physique.
From the void we came, and to the void we must return.
Can I help you? Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for. How strange. I certainly didn't put them there. I think fugue states are more your forte. Sylvie had the keys before I got here. The trash collections?
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threads that solves itself down the road.
On Clinton Street, near the Boogie Street Diamond, a small truck rattles down an alleyway. It stops by a rusted trash container. Two men, their faces rough and swollen, jump out. They look at the container despondently. CSM is written on their backs.
Thank you anyway.
Yes. Another thing. Great. Yes.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and...
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
The dashboard lights up, the lights unfold.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the...
There she is.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all. A rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the middle of a broken plaza, in a cone of light, barely visible in the daytime, two men, one slim, the other sturdy. They are on the city stage, but only...
Ah, Martinez. Let me see. Right here. It has its problems.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows. The first row has 18 dots. Not bad for what? The next is the longest. There are so many, it's hard to... The last row has 3. That's it.
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RC.
Son?
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered? Cool. I'm glad you joined us. Not a lot of money in Doom. This next row, the one that wraps all the... Wow, more than 200. It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more, call it what you want. Right.
Confirmed kills. That sounds pretty...
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the... There are certain officers who treat their kills like... But it seems as though you are.
He's sincerely glad you're not a scary predator. Not to say relieved you're competent.
If you want to pour out the booze you've been carrying around on duty, I'm certain...
A dark pool of cheap Pilsner appears at your feet. It's honorably done. You have given up some of your own blood for theirs.
Very noble of you. Are we done here?
The lieutenant...
Right. I'll go turn off the light.
You can now see your...
Tremble. The time is now. All time for the show. For Ulogu, the Monday morning. The moment you... Yes, you spoke the words of the Palindropos. And the house, it's totally also a coping mechanism. So you should be. The world island, the face of the woman fractures. There will be herd killing. We all be...
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
It has happened again. The Titan has your fist locked in his hand, and he's twisting it.
Another fit of criminal rage. Who are you, in your own words?
Your fist cracks in his hand like a ripe apple.
The words to the song have changed. Say.
Your hand twists in his grip.
Good. Now go before you enter cardiac arrest.
Despair creeps into you, getting fat on your weakness. Whatever noble intentions you once had as a police officer, it's eating them all up now. You're still coming up with sentences. That's a step up from total annihilation, right?
I don't dispute that you have been charged with protecting the people of a particularly challenging district. But poverty does not make one a loser. Poverty is just poverty.
Nothing you can say would make you feel any better now. Cop gives up the detective genre for social realism. Another police officer resigned from the RCM following a nervous breakdown. He now lives under a bridge, drinking and occasionally throwing excrement at passers-by, shouting, "I never loved that woman." When asked to comment, former colleagues objected to the theory that his psychological disintegration was precipitated by his wife leaving him. "It's because the Furrows lost that match," said Captain Ptolemy Price, once the man's superior officer. "It's because he couldn't get a big gun from acquisitions, and anyway, police work really burns you out after a while," Satellite Officer Jean-Vic Mayer, the deranged former cop's partner, commented. Sergeant Matt Torson, another former colleague, did not propose any theories, merely saying, "Whatever happened to him wasn't about birds. He got fucked, that's all."